Time travel is a fascinating concept, but it also has its dark side. As you'll soon discover, it can be extremely dangerous. Meet Owen and Made, two scientists who have dedicated their lives to making teleportation a reality. They've built a small laboratory in their garage, where they work tirelessly to achieve their dream of transporting matter from one place to another. For years, they've been perfecting their invention, and now they're on the verge of something even more incredible, a machine that can travel through time. However, creating such a machine is no easy task. It requires a deep understanding of complex physics and meticulous attention to detail. After many years of hard work, Owen and Made have finally succeeded in creating a sophisticated electronic software. This software is connected to two small, high-tech chambers that can convert matter into energy and back again. The machine is almost ready, and the couple is eager to test its capabilities. The day of the test finally arrives, and Owen and Made stand nervously in front of their machine. They're about to find out if their invention can really travel through time. They started by testing their machine on an orange. As they turned it on, their heart rates increased with excitement. At first, it seemed like the experiment had failed. The orange disappeared from the first jar, but nothing appeared in the second jar. But then, after a minute, the orange suddenly materialized in the second jar. The scientists were overjoyed. Encouraged by their success, they repeated the experiment with other fruits with similar results. Now they were ready to take the next step, teleporting living creatures. But they needed more funding to make this happen. To secure the necessary funds, they met with a wealthy investor named Rory over dinner. When they told him about their successful experiment with the orange, he was thrilled and immediately asked them to move on to testing living things. He was eager to see the results and share them with the world, hoping to become rich and famous overnight. Rory's plan was to use this technology to transport goods quickly and efficiently across the globe. It was like something out of a science fiction movie. The magic of teleportation was finally becoming a reality. However, one of the scientists, Made, cautioned that it was still too risky to try teleporting humans. Rory, the investor, was eager to see results and told the scientists, "I've invested all my money in this project, so whatever you want to do it quickly." Made, one of the scientists, promised to complete the work soon. After returning to their laboratory, both Made and Owen worked tirelessly day and night. They had already successfully teleported many fruits, and now they were ready to take the next step, testing their machine on living creatures. To prepare for this, they created special face masks that would allow humans to be teleported safely. But before trying it on humans, they needed to test the masks on living animals. They decided to use their pet rat, Derek, for the experiment. Made was particularly fond of Derek and was nervous about putting him through the test. Owen, however, was confident, saying, "We've done these experiments 1,000 times, and nothing has gone wrong. Nothing will happen to Derek either, believe me." But Owen's confidence was misplaced. When they turned on the machine, Derek disappeared from one jar, only to reappear in the other jar in a gruesome explosion. The rat's sudden and violent death left Made devastated. She was heartbroken and angry with Owen for pushing her to conduct the experiment on a living creature too soon. Made was feeling really upset and angry at night, so she started drinking too much. In a fit of rage, she decided to try teleporting herself. But before she did, she set up a special safety feature on the computer, just in case something went wrong. She wanted to make sure that if she disappeared, she could at least come back to her own time. Made put on the special mask and turned on the machine. To her surprise, it worked. She found herself in a completely new place, lying in the middle of a desert. She was scared and disoriented, but she knew she had to wait it out. After an hour, she teleported back to her own backyard, where Owen was waiting for her. Owen was really worried about Made, but when he saw her, he was relieved that she was okay. They were both happy to see that their hard work on the teleportation machine had paid off. Owen asked Made about her experience, and she told him that she had set up the machine to move forward in time, but she had a feeling that something wasn't right. They needed to take a closer look at the machine's settings. Owen went to the backyard to collect a sample of the soil from the spot where Made had reappeared. But then something strange happened. A woman who looked exactly like Maud appeared out of nowhere and attacked Owen, trying to kill him. Owen was shocked and defended himself, ultimately killing the imposter. Owen was confused and didn't understand what was happening. He wondered why his wife, Made, would try to kill him. But then the real Made appeared in front of him, and they both stared at each other in shock. Made's intuition had been right all along. She had created a massive mess. When she and Owen watched the night's footage, they realized that Made's intoxication had led her to forget to set the default loop on the teleportation machine. This oversight had catastrophic consequences. For the next 10 years, a new version of Made would appear every day, totaling 3,000,600 iterations. Owen's face fell as he grasped the implications. "We'll have to kill all of them," he said grimly, knowing that they had no choice but to eliminate the rogue maid until they could find a solution to the problem. But there was another complication. Maid had teleported at night, and Maid had been angry with Owen at the time. This meant that all the new versions of Maid would inherit her anger and resentment towards Owen. They would be programmed to kill him, and a deadly game of cat and mouse would ensue. Owen was the unfortunate goat in this scenario, forced to kill his own wife every day in a desperate bid to survive. The methods of murder varied. Sometimes it was a knife, sometimes a battle, and sometimes poisonous gas. After each killing, they would have to dispose of the body using a special chemical to prevent any evidence from surfacing. 1 month had passed, and Owen had become a reluctant serial killer, forced to eliminate multiple versions of his wife, Maid, every day. The irony was that he would never be caught, despite committing more murders than any serial killer in history. The experience had taken a toll on his mental health, and he was deteriorating rapidly. Maid and Owen had realized that they needed to take drastic action to stop the cycle of violence. Their experiments had come to a standstill, and they were trapped in their home, unable to venture out or lead normal lives. The constant killing had become a daily routine, and they knew that if anyone discovered their secret, they would face imprisonment. Maid decided to take a bold step. She would travel back in time to the moment when she first teleported herself and prevent the whole debacle from unfolding. However, Owen was hesitant, pointing out that they had only sent objects into the future, never attempted to travel back in time. He feared that the process might not work, and they could be putting themselves in grave danger. As they deliberated, Maid began to assist Owen in killing her duplicates. Rory visited Maid to find out why their project hadn't shown any progress, but Maid didn't tell him about the clones and the chaos they had created. Instead, she asked for a week's time to fix the problem, and Rory agreed to give her more time. Maid then had an idea. She told Owen that the next time a new clone appeared, they should try to talk to her instead of killing her. Maybe the clone would know something about the loop and how to use it. They were standing in the backyard discussing their plan when Maid 51 suddenly appeared and attacked Owen. In self-defense, Owen stabbed her with a knife, but accidentally, the knife pierced the real Maid, killing her. Owen was left sitting with Maid 51, mourning the loss of his wife. He had already killed 50 clones, and now he had unintentionally taken the life of the real Maid. Owen was devastated. He should have gone mad considering all the trauma he had been through. But Maid 51 tried to comfort him, saying, "I'm a copy of your wife. We're identical in every way. There's nothing special about her that isn't in me. So don't worry, you didn't really kill your wife." Owen had no choice but to accept this harsh reality. After a week, Rory returned to meet with Owen and Maid 51. They showed him their latest experiment, where they placed an egg in a jar and set a future time. When they pressed the button, the egg was teleported into the jar, impressing Rory. He was convinced that their teleportation and time travel technology was working, and he was happy to see the progress. Over the next 100 days, Maid 51 continued to help Owen with the clones, but Owen began to feel uneasy about the situation. He suggested that they should try to go back in time to prevent the whole mess from happening, but Maid 51 refused, citing the dangers involved. However, it became clear that Maid 51 had developed feelings for Owen and didn't want to lose him. Owen and Maid 51 decided to confide in Rory, inviting him to their home and revealing the truth about the clones and the chaos they had created. Rory, however, was more interested in the financial benefits of the situation and offered to help them dispose of the dead bodies in exchange for a share of the profits. Owen was unhappy with the arrangement, feeling that it wasn't going well. He continued to work on finding a solution to the problem, tried to send an apple back in time, but it vanished into thin air. Owen was disappointed and frustrated because the apple didn't reappear in the other jar. The next day, Owen went to kill Maid number 115, but she was ready for him. She hit him with a bat and knocked him out cold. When Owen woke up a week later, he found himself tied to a chair. Maid 115 stood before him, a scar on his face, a painful reminder of the violence that had occurred. Owen soon realized that all the clones that had been teleported were still alive, and Maid 115 was their leader. She had not killed any of them, and they had all been living in a desert location where Maid had originally teleported. Every day, a new clone would appear, only to be killed by Owen's hands. But Maid 115 had put a stop to that, and now the clones were in control. The clones had taken over the house, and Owen was their prisoner. They were all identical in appearance, but they were starting to develop their own personalities and motivations. Maid 115 told Owen that because of him, their lives had become a living hell. She said that every day, a new clone would appear and Owen would kill her. But now they were fighting back. The clones were getting jealous of each other, fighting over who would get to spend time with Owen. One night, one of the clones sneaked into Owen's room, hoping to get intimate with him, but Maid 115 caught her and killed her on the spot. As Maid 115 was about to dispose of the body, Maid 51 watched her with a mixture of disgust and concern. She couldn't take it anymore and decided to rescue Owen, taking him to Rory's house. There, she revealed a shocking truth. Her apple trick had actually worked, and she had been hiding it from Owen. She wanted him to go back in time and fix everything. Owen agreed and put on the mask, and in a few moments, he found himself in the desert where Maid had originally teleported. But to his surprise, he hadn't gone back in time. He had gone forward. He saw a van in front of him and got in, only to find Maid 115 waiting for him. She revealed a stunning conspiracy. Maid 51 had been behind everything all along. When she discovered that Owen had found a way to go back in time, she went back in time herself and told all of Maid's clones about how Owen had brutally murdered them in the real world. The clones were furious and planned to take revenge on Owen. Enraged, Owen stabbed Maid 115 with a knife, cutting her face and wounding her. But she fought back, attacking him with ferocity and leaving him badly injured. After a while, Owen disappeared from the van and found himself back in the desert. This time, he was confronted with a terrifying sight. Thousands of Maid's clones standing in front of him, all determined to kill him. And then, Maid 115 revealed the cruel punishment that Owen would have to face. Every day, a new version of him would be teleported to the desert where he would be killed only to be replaced by another version. It was a never-ending loop, and Owen was trapped in it. The video ends with Owen's fate hanging in the balance, surrounded by an army of clones bent on his destruction. And with this, the movie comes to an end. Thanks for tuning in, guy.